Welcome to this week's team call for Team Getting Fit and Team Get Super Fit. It's skill number 6 this week, getting new people started right. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Erin Wester, Star Diamond Coach and founder of Team Getting Fit. I've been a coach for almost 6 years now. Next week will be my 6-year anniversary. And I'm just actually getting good at this getting people started right thing. So it took a little bit of time. Let's see if I can get it to move. We're having some computer difficulties. I may have to.
Until 5:30.
Gosh.
But after that, I don't know.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop the share and just kind of do it without the PowerPoint up because for some reason it's not working.
Yeah, just go ahead and do it without the slides, you know.
I will post the slides, but I'll just kind of do it without the slides.
Old school.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do it old school here. So basically, just think about what your goal is. If your goal as a coach is to build income, building a team is really how you make money in this business. It's not about retail. I mean, retail is important because Success Club is important. Helping people is important. Getting people in your challenge group is important. But really, if you want to make sustainable income, you need to build a team. And it took a little while for me to realize that. Unfortunately, you can't see the slide that I have up, but it's basic. I'll share it in the group, but it's basically showing an example of commissions and showing one of my higher commissions week, which was $1,300 commission. You know, I've been a coach for 6 years, so I've been doing this a while. But basically, 78% of my check came from team volume bonus, and only 17% came from retail commission. So in a $1,300 check, only $229 was sales. So that just really shows you this is sustainable income that you have really from your team. And earlier, before we started the call, we were talking about how this was one of the best weeks yet, volume-wise. And as our team makes more volume, you make more commission. So it's really important to recruit and build a team. When you're starting your new coaches, right, or even signing new coaches, posture is super important. So you need to watch your posture when you bring a new coach onto your team. You need to really go about it by showing that coaching is an opportunity that they are lucky to have presented to them in their life. They're not doing you a favor by signing up. And that comes from chasing coaches. And when you chase coaches, they really aren't really going to do much because you're going to have to chase them to do training. You're going to have to chase them to get Success Club. You have to chase them to really do anything. So this is not a favor that they're doing for you. You don't want to have to keep walking them off the ledge when they want to keep quitting. I've had a few coaches that are no longer coaches that I've always had to try to convince to stay. And obviously they aren't going to be coaches that you really want on your team. So there's really 5 steps to getting a coach started right. This is also another slide that shows an example of a welcome email. I'm going to share that document as well. Obviously, change it to your liking, but basically what I do when someone signs up as a coach is I send them a welcome email. Something like, welcome to the team. I'm thrilled that you've joined us. Read this email carefully before we start training. Then kind of just talking about yourself, thanking them for putting trust in them and your team, helping them build a successful business. It's really just a whole email that I'll also post as well. But I really talk to them about being a 1, a 2, or a 3 as a coach. So basically a 1 is someone who's just a fan. They're going to be a discount coach. They want their discount on Shakeology. They want their discount on the fitness program. So that's really why they sign up as a coach. You know, a VIP member is what some people call it. Or they be 2, they're a business builder. You know, and you really talk about what you want them to accomplish in their first month, you know, Success Club, advancing to Emerald. And then in my welcome email, I actually include some links to some YouTube videos. What is Success Club, benefits of Success Club, and how to advance and rank. I include those links in my welcome email so that they can kind of see it and have them do it as homework. Or, I mean, there are 3 right away. They want to create a lifestyle of freedom and choice. You know, I wasn't even a 3 when I first started. I was a 1. I was a coach for the discount. And I mean, a lot of coaches will start out that way, and then they'll progress up to a 3. If they're a 3, they want to be a diamond coach. That's really, really their goal. And they want to build a solid foundation. So I always have them tell me, well, what are you right now, a 1 or 2 or 3? And then I let them know, you know, I've added you to these Facebook groups. So I tell them that I added them to my coach group and the Empire. That's what I add my coaches to. And then I also want them to do 2 specific things before we set up our first call. One is the business quick start. And I send them a link to that so that they have that. And also I send them a memory jogger so they can get their list of 20, because I want them to have a list of 20 before we do a call. So have them do those assignments, and then they have to email me their business quick start, and then we'll do a getting started right call. I also give them the Empire training website and the password for that, because it's a really good resource for them. I explain there's a lot of information. Just take it as they want to. So, I mean, that's really what my welcome email is. I will share it, obviously change it so it fits you. I think it was an email I got from Barbie, and I just changed it up so it fit my style more. And again, I'll post what I send to all my coaches, and I just save it and I just email it to everybody who signs up to be a new coach. I also have a welcome email for customers as well, just thanking them for signing up for my challenge group or buying a product. So I really also have one of those. Again, I'll post the welcome email in the team page along with the copy of this PowerPoint that nobody can see. As I said, make sure you make changes to the email so it's a personal reflection of you. And then I always have my coaches do the homework before I schedule getting started right call. I mean, obviously you don't have to do that. I mean, everybody does something a little different, but that's what I do. Sometimes if they really want to do the challenge first, I'll still have a getting started right call with them, but it's really just to talk about their fitness goals and just really get that relationship going. And that's really what I think is the important part of a getting started right call, is building that relationship. Because if you build a relationship with them, they'll be more likely to stick around. At least that's how I've seen it. So the step after the welcome email is a welcome graphic. Again, you can't see mine, but I will post this PowerPoint. Just an example of the kind of graphic you do. I mean, it doesn't have to be fancy. I do mine on Pic Collage. I've just started using Canva. That's something I'm still fairly new at using. PicMonkey's another one. I really just take their profile picture and put in a little graphic that says, welcome new coach. However, to the team, I mean, I've changed mine a little bit because now I have a logo. So I actually use that in my graphic, but it's just something simple, especially if you're going to add them to the Empire. Really trying to make them feel like they're part of the Beachbody community, feel they're part of a family, really give them a shout out and recognition for joining as a coach. So the third step would be the getting started right call. I mean, a lot of people do these differently. I mean, this is just what I do and what's been working for me. I try to schedule it within a week of the welcome email. I hope that they can get at least the business quick start done. At least send me some goals. So they need to do something to even get the getting started right call with me. And that's just me specifically. When I do my getting started right calls, I keep them pretty short. They're about 30 minutes. I go over the business quick start, discuss their goals, and really, if I don't know them that well, I try to get to know them, bond with them, really show them that my team is a family. If they don't come with a list of 20, I again talk about the memory jogger and that they should have a list of 20 at all times, people that love and trust them. Obviously, as people have been doing this for a while, as I mean, I've been doing this, next week it'll be 6 years. I don't really have a warm market anymore, so I use a lot of cold market, but I really work on helping my new coaches to really focus on their warm market because it'll be easier for them to talk to people they know. I also don't personally go over the training technical specifics, like setting up your website, all that stuff. I use a recording that Barbie Klev actually did about the specifics. It's about 30 minutes. So, I mean, they do a 30-minute call with me, then I give them the recording, because it gets really tedious and boring, and then they can stop and start it while they try to set everything up. Basically, you don't want your new coaches to consider you as their tech support. You want to help them learn where to find answers. I find a lot of answers by Google, YouTube videos, Coach Online Office. Really teach them to go there, or else you're going to be on the phone with people all the time trying to go over little technical things that they can really find the answers other places. Obviously, scripts, inviting, those kind of things. I'm definitely there to help with that, but setting up website, all that kind of stuff, I really don't help with that. Let them be able to do some things too, because it's their business. And then the fourth thing I have my new coaches do is get on a Get to Emerald call. So we're doing our Get to Emerald calls once a month. The next one is 2 weeks, Tuesday the 21st, June 21st. Really, you should try to get them on an Emerald call within the first 2 weeks or so. If a call is not coming up soon, you can always use a recording. I did one for the Empire that I thought was pretty good, that maxed out. So I plan on sharing that with, I'm signing up a coach tomorrow. So I plan on sharing that with him if he doesn't get all his stuff done before the 21st, which I'm not sure he will. But I plan on just sending him that recording so he can look at it and see the importance of Emerald and Success Club. And then the fifth thing that you should do is set expectations. So an expectation would be Success Club. Expectation number 2 would be get on the weekly calls or listen to the recordings. I mean, there's tons of resources out there. The National Wake Up Call, these team Skils calls, the bi-weekly Empire calls, since they're now switched to every other Tuesday. I mean, even if you can't get on them, listen to the recording because you're at least getting the content. You can take notes, pause it. Sometimes I'll just re-listen to the recording so I can take notes and pause it, and it's just easier for me. The expectation is to keep recruiting new coaches and participate on the Facebook group. If you're just not really posting there, not asking for help, not trying to help other people, motivate your coaches, things like that, it's really should be participating there as well. And then there's just some little tips that I have about getting coaches starting right. Don't handhold the new coaches. When I'm recruiting, signing a new coach, I interview them because I want there to be standards and expectations, because for me, this is my job. This is serious for me, and I want them to realize how serious I am about this. I don't want to be putting in time to trying to get people to do stuff. So I don't want to be hounding people about getting the training done. I don't want to be saying, you're going to go inactive. You need to make sure you're not inactive. So I don't like to have to chase people and make them do things, because I would rather put my time into the people that are doing the work. So I make sure they know that expectation up front. So your coaches, they need to earn your time. So they need to be consistent. Some coaches require being Emerald rank or hitting Success Club to get one-on-one calls. For me, they just need to be getting Success Club points. They need to be doing something, doing the self-led training and posting about it, sending me their stuff from the coach-led training, sending me their power of threes, things like that. They just need to be doing something. So I'm really not as strict as a lot of coaches, but I mean, they still need to earn my time because I'm still busy. I have kids, they have activities. I have the household to run. So, I mean, I still have lots of things to do. So even though I put in like 4 hours a day on my business, I really show them that it's on my time. So I keep good posture. I really feel that I have to keep good posture. I keep business hours. I mean, it really works for me. And then my kids still get my attention. So getting on team calls is important. You want them to feel a part of the community. If they're not on any calls, if they're not looking in the team page, they're just going to feel really alone, and they're just going to want to quit. So we want to help them feel part of the community, part of a family, so that our new coaches really step up and get new blood and really help more people. And you really need to stress the importance of events. So things like Super Saturdays, Summit, because you want them to be a part of the Beachbody community right away. You want them to see how amazing this company is and how amazing the people on our team are and how we really care about helping each other, and we're not all just out to help ourselves, that we really, really care about helping, because that's really what this business is all about. And you can't take it personal if your new coaches aren't super successful. So if you sign this coach and you think that they're really, really awesome and they're great and they're going to do all this work and they can't even do the business quick start and they can't even schedule a call to talk about goals and they don't set their website up, I mean, it's not your fault. I mean, you're there to support them. You're not there to do it for them. If they think that you're going to just magically make everything fall in place and make them be successful in 30 days, I mean, it's not going to work that way. I mean, this business takes time. It takes years. And you just need to keep supporting them and asking them what they need. And really, maybe something horrible is going on in their life and you don't know about it. So really just being there as a supportive person and really helping them feel like this is a team and we're a family. And that's really what I try to do with my coaches. I mean, some of my coaches are just in Beachbody to work on their transformation, and they are just coaches for the discount. But I mean, they still will make sales and do those kind of things. But so I just really support them in what they want to do with this business. So you really need to find out where they are. If they really are just here for the discount and they really need help with their physical transformation, or if they're wanting to start slow, I mean, if they want to start fast, you really have to know what kind of coach they want to be so you know how to help them. Because I know every single one of my coaches is 100% different. So I have to really tailor my approach to the person. That's just me personally. And that was all I had. So if anybody has any questions, kind of got through that fast because I couldn't show my slides. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that was a great job.
I worked so hard. I'm so sad.
You mentioned a video from Barbie that you were talking about. Is that something, do you have a link to that somewhere, or will you post a link to that?
I'll post it in the chat, but it's in the PowerPoint, but I can post
it. Okay, cool. Yeah, if it's in the PowerPoint, that's fine. You're going to post that too, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I really like...
way better idea than trying to go in it for hours for the same stuff.
Yeah.
Just really take the time to really get to know them and bond with them.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, you know, a lot of the people that I've tried recruiting, I mean, are people that I already feel like I know anyway, because I look at it as somebody I'm going to be working with. But, you know, to truly build, I mean, at some point you're going to be talking to people you don't know about this, and the ones that do sign up, it would be awesome to go ahead and have a bunch of resources like that, which I know we do. We have the self-paced training, which is great. I love that idea. But then having other things,
right,
I mean, it's really good.
I had a couple of things to reiterate here, based on what you talked about, Aaron. Number one is you talked about posture, and really that starts when we're talking to prospects.
Right. So
this kind of gets into some of the other skills, but I just want to. I had kind of an aha moment recently. We talked about a little bit about this at the retreat, about being excited when you're talking to prospects. And I guess I learned this from Brian Carruthers. He talks about in his book, don't drag your past forward. So if your last 10 prospects all said no, you can't drag that on to your next prospect. You have to have amazing posture, and just forget about those or pretend like all of those signed up. And so that's really helping me. Like I was talking to a prospect before this call, and I guess in the past I tend to focus on what's not going right. Like I've been doing this 5 years, I'm still not making a full-time income, or haven't equaled my job or whatever, right? But so what I told him, I was like, our company is just exploding right now. Our week ends tomorrow. Today's the last day of our week, and this is one of the best weeks I've had in 6 years, and I'm just really excited. Things are really going awesome right now. And he's like, oh wow, that's really cool. So think about what is going well, and transfer that belief to your prospects. And that will translate right over to getting people started right. Another one, totally different subject, is when you're getting your coaches started. This is something I've messed up with my past 2 or 3 coaches. Make sure the next steps are crystal clear as to what they need to do after they sign up. I kind of got lazy sending out the welcome email. In fact, I don't think I sent you one, Trista, just because I kind of thought, well, I just tell them to do the first 5 lessons, and then we do this getting started right call, right? That's good enough, right? But no, it's not. Like, you got to have that in writing. I think anything you do, you got to have it in writing. So basically, I started doing the email again, the welcome email, because you want to be blameless as a sponsor. You don't want to be the one responsible for, not helping them get started. Now, if you send them the email with clear instructions, then they don't do anything, they don't follow those instructions, then that's not your problem, but at least you did your part. And another thing is about setting expectations up front. That also starts when you're talking with your prospects. And I learned this from Brian Crothers too. I was on one of his Periscopes recently. He said there's 3 main things that will, the 3 most important things to be successful in this business are: number 1, desire; number 2, being coachable; and number 3, willing to work hard. So I was talking to this prospect earlier this evening before this call, and we were just talking about, she's had a tough time like finding a job, and like she wanted to just work part-time. She has kids at home and stuff. So she kind of wanted to work part-time, but yet she has a college degree. So she wanted to work like, professional job, but nobody wants to hire her because they all want full-time. So I told her, like, anyone can be successful in this business. And the most important things are, number 1, you got to have desire, strong desire. Number 2, you got to be coachable. And number 3, you got to be willing to work hard. And she was like, well, I have all 3 of those. So I'm like, cool. So that was a great way for me to have posture with her. And then another thing, we'll talk more about this next week, about when we're talking about promoting events, is you said, tell your new coaches about, Super Saturdays. A lot of times I tell my prospects about Super Saturdays. So again, when I was talking to Susie, the same person that I told about the 3 things, I already told her about Super Saturday. She says she needed a couple weeks to, before she's going to be able to sign up. But I said, go ahead and mark, August 6th on your calendar in Fort Wayne. She lives in Indiana. I said, it's going to be an amazing event. Because she was asking me about the training. What kind of training do you offer? So I said, this is another training opportunity for you to go there, and, you'll have an amazing time. So we'll talk more about that next week. But and another thing is you talked about giving them the business quick start and the memory jogger. You're just basically giving people a test. So for me, the test is completing the first 5 lessons, and then they get to do the getting started right call. But I've done so many getting started right calls in the past for like an hour with somebody who then never did anything, that it's just better to give them a little test and then do the getting started right call. So you don't necessarily have to have them do the first 5 lessons or do the business quick start. It can be anything. You can give them a video to watch. It can be a 10-minute exercise that they need to do, whatever that is. But I do think it's a good idea to give them a little bit of a test. So those were all the reiterations I had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think really, you can not be 100% happy with where you are, but there's something good that coaching did for everybody. I mean, I could feel like a failure because when it was time to leave my job, I had wanted to be like twice as much money, but I mean, I was making enough that it was double my current job. So why not just go for it? So, I mean, even when you think that there's shortcomings, there's positives, because I mean, what person wouldn't want to make $1,000 a week? I mean, I think I look at the people that make millions and millions of dollars, but they had to start somewhere, and tons of people would be happy with $1,000 a week. So I really thought to myself, why am I not sharing it more? I mean, if you are making $1,000 a week, you should be sharing that. You should be telling everybody about that. Because yeah, it's not $1 million a year, but it still pays the bills. And it makes it so we don't have to pay for daycare. So, I mean, that's really, someone's gonna connect with that. So don't think because you're not 100% where you want to be that someone still doesn't want that. I guess is kind of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, when you're talking to prospects, you have to get excited. I mean, if you don't get excited, yeah, you're still going to sign some people up. But if you just have that incredible enthusiasm and excitement, that's more important than anything that you say, you know. And I'm not saying you have to be like some extrovert, like change your personality. I just mean like,
not at all.
Yeah, you just have to, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, you have to have that passion that you're conveying to the other person. And that's, I mean, you could be like, you could be saying stupid stuff, but if you're saying it passionately, they'll probably sign up, you know?
Right.
And another tip that I thought of is know exactly what you're going to do with your new coaches. When you're talking to prospects, know what the next steps exactly are going to be. Because I think I had that problem earlier on. So it created some doubt in my mind when I was talking to prospects. And now while I'm talking to them, I'm just like, okay, the next step, we're going to get you enrolled with your challenge pack. I'm going to send you a welcome email, add you to our new coaches group, and have you do the get started with a new coach training. There's 20 lessons, 4 weeks, 20 lessons. Finish the first 5 lessons, and then you've earned a getting started right call with me, where I'll actually give you more closer mentoring and help you launch your business. And so that's exactly what I tell most of my prospects. And so I don't have any doubt in my mind as to what the next step is or whether I can help them be successful.
Yeah, because if you don't know what you're going to do with them, they have no clue what to expect. And they're just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to do what? So when I would just not send a welcome email, I would be like, well, I just do this and do this and do this. And yeah, didn't work. So now I have the set welcome email that I have sent to everybody. And, you know, I see where they're at. I see what kind of coach they want to be. And then I go with their own specific plan. But they know it specifically for them. So they know that you aren't the same with every single person. So that it's personalized. And it changed that a little bit. So it seems to be working better.
You know, and much like we talked about this at the retreat too, that, you know, people like to feel invited to things, and that's what, you know, or that they feel chosen. I think people, I know for me, it getting into this, having these expectations to do these assignments and do these things, it really made it feel more like a business and more like a job, which is what it should feel like. I think had I not, you know, been given all of these things to do. And that was back in the day when Stewart's week 1 homework was like 8 pages long. So like, it's like 8 hours of videos, you know, and stuff. But anyway, but it was a nice kickstart. I mean, I really appreciated that he took the time to put all that together, and B, I mean, it was giving me structure, which, you know, I can hear Jennifer laughing back here. I mean, I need structure like nobody's business. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it just gets them off to the right foot, treating their business like a job and something that they need to, you know, set aside time to do every single day. So.
Anything else?
So Trista, I hope that you got a lot out of this and that you'll be implementing this very soon as you bring new people on board.
Yes, if I can get somebody to do that.
That's good. Oh, and here's another tip. I hate to say the word never, but never bring on anybody without a challenge pack. That's just a kind of a rule of thumb. Maybe there's an exception, maybe here and there, but for the most part, they should have either purchased a challenge pack in the past and then you enroll them and they continue their autoship or whatever, or they get started with the challenge pack. That's just
I actually have a kind of funny story about that. I actually have one of my coaches didn't start with the challenge pack for personal reasons, but she actually, I mean, she doesn't hit Success Club, but she gets Success Club points, so she stays active from selling challenge packs in Shakeology, but she is the exception.
There probably are some exceptions here and there that you might be able to think of, but 99.9% of the time, because if they don't buy a challenge pack, you're kind of losing posture there as well.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I didn't really want to let her do it, but I did. Just that one time. She actually does pretty good, so strangely enough. But she's an exception, not the normal.
Yeah.
Just pay $40, they usually quit within a few months.
That's right.
Because if they aren't doing a program, if they aren't drinking Shakeology, they're not being a product with a product, and they have to sell people and not share.
Right. And the way you get started is very, powerful. So if you started with a kickstart pack that included the 3-day refresh and the fitness program and Shakeology, that's more powerful than starting with,
Absolutely.
nothing. So.
Right.